So with Triumph done, it's time to move to Kawasaki. Let's see what they've got. And instantly with the H2. £21,000 for that one. The H2 SE. A bike I've never ridden, and a bike is probably a lot better, I say probably, it's a lot better than I am a rider. But it certainly is a bit of a beast. Too much of a beast for me. Z1100 for £12,700. However, this is more my style. The ZX4RR. As you know, I've got the ZX400 1991, and this is more the modern version of it, but except this one is £9,700. 77 horsepower, so 15 more than my 1991 ZXR. Great looking, fantastic bike. And then the ZX6R for 12 grand. The Z500. And over here is the Z900. A lot of engine on that, and not much else to it. It's like you're riding an engine. Does look good. And then the Z1100. Absolute beast. I love the seat on that, with the Zs all over the seat. That does look good. Not sure about the light unit, but a bike that's 221 kilos, but it does have 136 horsepower, so it doesn't really matter what it weighs. It's going to get you there quickly, isn't it? And then the 900 SE, £12,350. Now these are all much of a muchness as far as I'm concerned. Yes, they're lovely looking bikes. I like that green frame with the green wheels. Looks phenomenal. But this style doesn't really do it for me. I am much more of this kind of person, the Z900 RS. In that plum brown tank, metallic brown, that does look awesome. 11.5 grand though. They're not cheap bikes, are they? 116 horsepower, so it's got plenty of power. 215 kilos, not too bad for a 900. But that looks brilliant. Now there were rumours that they are going to be bringing out a 400, and I would love to see a 400 version of that. But for now, we've got the 650. Again, great looking. Gold wheels, works well with that blue, but look at that, look at the green on that. Awesome, absolutely awesome. Vulcan, if you like that cruiser style. Not really my style of bike. But there you go, and that's 8.6. And then here we've got the new W230, which I was talking about in my video yesterday. That's the new 230 that's coming out. £4,654. Nice looking bike, the smaller version of the 650 that they did, of the W range. Got that real retro look to it, sort of old style, Honda-esque look to it. I think they've done that really well. With the W on the tank there. 12 litre fuel tank, 113 miles to the gallon, 18 horsepower, 143 kilos wet. Well, I think they've done that well. My only concern is that it's only 233cc. Why would you want 233cc when 125 is the legal limit for a CBT, and then most people look to go slightly higher to a 350 or a 400. And I just think 233 is probably not anywhere near big enough. So now Harley tend to be sort of losing dealers in the UK at the moment, but people still love them. Harley has that style, doesn't it, that people just know to go to them. You know, they like that style of bike. If you want a cruiser, people buy a Harley. I think that's very stereotypical personally, but you know, it kind of works for them, I guess. Just probably not so much in the UK, which is why I think dealers are sort of disappearing from the UK. It does look good. Look at the size of that front wheel. Fat Boy, lovely colour. I love that green and black. Cool, like that machined rear wheel. Look. Big chunky tyre. That is ginormous. Fat Boy. And that is £23,500. So if you want a Harley, £23,500 for the Fat Boy. There you go. It's not the, oh, look at that. Purple, oh my God, I love that. That purple with the blue pearl in it. Oh, that is amazing. That's a similar colour to my Mach 1 Mustang. That is phenomenal. Oh, I love that colour. I'd buy that just for the colour. That is 14 grand. That's not bad for a 1250, 14 grand. That's not bad at all for a Harley. In that colour, oh my God, I am in love with that colour. That is phenomenal. The purple with the blue accent, or the pearl. I don't like Harleys, but I'd have one just for that colour. Quite modern looking. Sportster S there, in black. But this Sportster S in purple is the colour to have. Look at that! Oh, I can't get enough of that. I'm going to have to come back and look at that later. And then the CVO Road Glide ST. Look at the width of that, look. It's like you've literally got to spend 25 minutes going from one side to the other. So that, if you want that, is 50 grand. Yeah, huge. Oh, Harley Bagger World Cup. The size of that thing. Oh, look what they've done with those shocks. That looks interesting. Olin shocks, the Road Glide there. Oh, this one is 27,700. So why is that 50 grand? What's so special about it that makes it almost twice the price of that? So this one's got the 2-litre engine and upgraded brakes. That's the CVO ST. I mean, looks-wise, to start with, you think that's the same. This one, 27,000 for the base model bike, but apparently it's got about £13,000 worth of extras on it, like with the Olins and the exhausts and the bars and the stereo upgrade. So it's about 13 grand worth of extras. So the 27,000 standard price there is for the standard bike. And that's also 1923cc. So it's not too dissimilar. And this is the standard bike. Love that colour. So this is the standard version that you get for 27. Great colour. So the Street Glide there again. Look at the colour on that. Harley Davidson really do nail it with the colours. I mean, you could argue that it's a bit of a feminine colour, but I like that. I like that. And that. Look at the orange. Then again, I wouldn't own a Harley. The reason why I wouldn't own a Harley is because they're not my style of bike, but also they're stereotypical. Harley Davidson is the one that people go for if they want a big cruiser style bike, and I think you can get just as decent bikes for your money without spending this kind of money. Mind you, it's I don't know though, look at the quality of it. It's pretty phenomenal. And that one in that colour is £40,000. Yeah, I don't care how good it looks, that's a lot of money. 40 grand. Yeah, not for me. I'm just going to waltz past Triumph again with the off-road section. This is the TF250X. Triumph are really up and coming in their motocross and enduro at the moment. 9,395, but you can't look at it as the price for the bike simply because of what it is. And that looks phenomenal. And they even do the little ones. Look how so cute that is. Mind you, £1,595 for that? Really? 600 watt, 43 volt. 1,500 quid? Are you kidding me? £2,295. It gets a bit more serious. £3,195, and then teenage version, £3,695. Now, if this was something Patrick was going on, it wouldn't be this one, it would be that one there, but I'm not buying him a bike for £3,200. That's mad money. .40 kilos, 1200 watt, 50 volt brushless motor for children aged 7 and over. Yeah, not for £3,200, it's not. Sorry, Patrick, not a chance. Prefer the CF Moto. I wonder if they're here. This is the new Triumph TF450X. And the 450E, £10,400. Again, Triumph are really up and coming now in the enduro and motocross world. And then the 250 for £9,795. Whilst we're on the motocross side of things, let's pop back through Kawasaki at their motocross section. So their KX250 in comparison is £7,799. So quite a bit cheaper than the Triumph. What have they got for little ones? Obviously these aren't electric, but £3.5 grand for that one, and £3.5 grand for the KLX 140R, and then the 110, £2,700. They're better priced. Ninja 125, £4,700. This is something that I think QJ is going up against, the Ninja 125. Quite a bit of more money. Theirs is £2,999 and this is £4,699. And I know it's a Kawasaki, I know people are going to say, but I don't think there's a huge amount of difference. The Ninja HEV Hybrid 7 that I test rode quite a while ago now, with a hybrid making these just a little bit quicker on acceleration. And the E1 4299 for the EV bike. That's not a bad price. And that one uses a 12 horsepower. 12 horsepower. So this is the 125 equivalent. It's got e-boost, road and eco modes, and the E1, so it's £4,299 for their electric 125 equivalent. That's not a bad price actually. And then the Ninja 125, £4,699. So whether you want electric or an engined bike, you're going to be paying the same sort of money. That's not bad. and then the naked version of that, and that is £4,299. Z650 and Z650 £7,200 and £8,700. However, the new kid on the block is this new KLE 500, 6599. That's a good price. That obviously is going to take on the likes of KTM. I think that will be a very popular seller. .16 litre tank, 451cc. You're fine. Thank you. But also not just KTM, but CF Moto. CF Moto 450 MT. That's also going to be up against that. What would you have? There versus. Oh, I like that grey colour on the KLE, sort of a bluey grey, greeny, bluey, aquary, drab, olive, greeny, grey, bluey stuff. And then maybe something for the water, sir. Look at the size of that. £21,679 or 11 grand for this. Yes. Give me a bit of that. Love that. That looks fun. The Mule. Ninja 1100 SX. Great colour on that. I know I talk about colour a lot on bikes, but I think that matters. Sort of a goldy brown, £27,000 for this one. Ninja H2 SX supercharged bike. Very powerful machine, but also very expensive. .200 horsepower, 267 kilos. A monster of a bike. Do you really want that much power for a tourer? And are you ever going to use it? So from Kawasaki to the next stand, which is Norton. Let's go and have a look to see what they've got. Norton obviously back in the game now. But something rather interesting. They've got some interesting looking bikes, so let's go and take a look. Instantly my attention is drawn to this orange. It's sort of a peachy orange, isn't it? It's not a very bright orange. That, I believe, is the Atlas GT. We'll come back and have a look at that in a minute when there's a bit more space. Here it is in silver. That is a bit of a slab, isn't it? What do you think of that? Quite nice looking. The dash on it looks pretty good. Rather large dash. It's programmed to just play and do its thing, but that's really visible. Complicated switch gears as well, look. But it looks impressive, doesn't it? You can certainly see where your money goes. No prices because they don't know what they are yet, or if you have to ask, you can't afford one scenario. Well, this is their colour scheme: the silver, the black, the blue, the aqua, and the gunmetal. But this, the Manx. That's a bit of a monster, isn't it? Again, with that massive dash on it. That is very impressive. Loving the lights on that as well. Certainly is impressive, but that's not going to be cheap, is it? Look at the carbon wheels on that. Beautiful. Love that. Super Corsa tyres, which it needs to be really. But yeah, that's not going to be a cheap bike. .206 horsepower. Seems to be a lot of buzz around this one. I think the black with the sort of champagne gold makes a big difference. Great looking lights on that as well. Ka-chow! And that blue looks fantastic. That really does look nice. Keen to know what they're going to be priced at. The difference is with the Manx and the Manx R, it's just not a lot of difference, but this just looks so intense, and that colour looks phenomenal. And that exhaust system, look, the Aquaprova's exhaust system is there. So these, I believe, use the 585cc parallel twin with a 270-degree crank. So price, I think, is going to be a big factor on these. This gives it that sort of, obviously it's more of a dual sport. But I don't know anybody who's going to buy a Norton and use it as a dual sport bike. Do you know any prices of these yet?
Not yet.
No?
No,
So the price of the Nortons is not going to be announced until December, and they don't, well, they know, but they can't let us know the exact price. What they can say is that the Atlas is going to be competitive to maybe the Yamaha Tenere 700. However, the Manx is going to be the same sort of price as a Ducati Panigale, something like that. So, as expected, they're going to be between, I say the Tenere is going to be around sort of 10 to 11 grand for the Atlas 585, is it 585 or 565? I forget now. So the Atlas bike will going to be competitive with the Yamaha, that's okay. And the Manx, as expected, is going to be Ducati prices. That's not bad, actually. That's not bad at all. I was expecting more. That's not actually that bad. With you being aware of that, would you go for a Norton or the Ducati? Now, I know Norton, there's a little bit of concern about not reliability, but where the company is and where the company is heading. But they're clearly spending a lot of money on development and a lot of money on bike production, and they look phenomenal. And on paper, they sound phenomenal. I love that colour. That sort of aqua greeny blue is phenomenal. So, with that in mind, do you consider that the best one to go for is a Norton or Ducati? Let me know what you think. So that brings us on to Suron. Now, Suron is only to be ridden by someone who wears a black or grey tracksuit and a black puffer jacket and a black or grey baseball cap with a man bag. I'm not being stereotypical, just from what I have observed in the past. If you have one of those as a setup, then the Suron is the bike for you. Let's take a look at them. Baby Suron. slightly bigger Suron. Suron for the discerning lady in your life, and the Suron for the film crew. State of that. That's an impressive bit of kit, isn't it? So you can understand why they do it. Thank you. You can understand why they do it, because it's quiet. It'll go anywhere, and with all that kit on it, it'll keep the cameras nice and stable, but then you can just follow along on this and film. It is the perfect filming vehicle, really, isn't it? And even the Rozzers are in on it. Great if you're out catching bike thieves. If you're out trying to catch people doing 3 miles an hour over the speed limit, then it's not great. And then the sort of motocross version, again still with all the filming equipment on it. As a filming bike, I think that is phenomenal. So then, BMW next, and BMW have always got impressive looking bikes. This is their array of race bikes, looks fantastic, like that with the wets on it. The carbon version, £37,500 plus VAT if you want one of them.
That is my dream bike, but way more power and the track's better.
I always struggle to film on the BMW stand simply because it is always crowded. You just can't get anywhere. It's very difficult to film. I suppose that says a lot about their bikes, but the BMW stand I always find is absolutely packed. So I might come back to that in a little while. I'll keep an eye on it and see if it gets a bit quieter, because I can't move at the moment. Look. So we'll come back to the BMW one. So let's move on to Indian. Indian, the alternative to Harley Davidson, of course. That's not a bad price. The Indian Scout, 15,855. Good looking. Looks better, I think, in that red. That is a lovely colour. Again, not my style of bike, so I personally wouldn't have one. £16,155, if that is your thing. Black is the colour that a lot of people go for, because they do like a black bike. That's not bad. £10,995 for that. That's a pretty good price. £10,995. Again, not my style, but I can see why people go for them. 235 kilos. 85 horsepower from a 1000cc V-twin engine. Nice, if you like that kind of thing. The only Indian I would have is the FTR. Where is that? I love that. 1250 Indian. 16,000 again. We've got some rather tasty looking things over here. Custom bikes. Nice paint job on that. The Indian Scout custom bike. Same with that one. Unusual exhaust, but if that is your cup of tea, then £22,500 you will have to part with. It's like a cruiser meets tracker. Very unusual thing that is, isn't it? Street hooligan. Yeah, I can understand why. And then round here, stuck in the corner, the 1200 FTR, which I rode and tested quite a while ago now. Well, that looks good in that colour. I like green. Bogey and poo colours, I like them. 17,955 for that one. The Thunderstroke Dark Horse. Oh yeah, Mustang might have something to say about that. But yeah, I think it is safe to say that I like poo, diarrhea and bogey colours. And the Indian Chief. That one being £16,355. If that is your thing. And then this one, £22,000. Thunderstroke Chief RT, £22,355. Loving the socks, mate. If that's your thing, 22,000 is yours. And then 22,855 for the Thunderstroke Dark Horse. Again, with a Dark Horse. And then that is a beast. The Roadmaster, isn't it? The Roadmaster? Power Plus. Roadmaster Power Plus. £30,755. I think I prefer Indian to Harley Davidson. I don't know what it is, just the Indian just has that extra specialness about it in terms of the sort of squared off tanks. I like that. And it's not a Harley. I like it even more. And £28,555 for this one. Matte black, no thank you. But, you know, people do like matte black. And then this is like the Harley Road King, is it? This is the Roadmaster. Lots of chrome and bling on that. Oh look, you've got the is it heated seats on there? Heated seat. Oh, that's a cover on that. I love the dials. The gold dials look good. Lots of bling and chrome. And no price. If you have to ask, you can't afford it. And then back to my favourite, the FTR. Just stuck out here, look. It's almost like we don't care about it anymore. There it is. Yeah, we bought it, but it's not part of the main thing. They've stuck baby in the corner. So then, on to AJS now. AJS, the JFT 125. Liquid cooled 125. Scrambler, looks pretty cool, doesn't it? That's quite a funky looking thing. With a little liquid cooled engine. No price. Let me ask.